that's the
видео
reason
we'll
we're
discuss
rallying. It's not because we've got any
why it's
good
rallying.
news. We just don't have any bad news and negative headlines. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, Tom. You know, it's interesting. I'm looking for news right now because the S&P/X just jumped about 0.6% in the last 3-4 minutes. So I'm looking for some news going right now. This market just took another leg higher. But you're right, Tom. Yesterday, the markets are waiting for news on trade deals and tariffs. And what did we got? Yesterday, we got Donald Trump and Jerome Powell. And so that just fueled the lack of news we got other places. Now the market is having a pretty strong day here. You've got the S&P up the E-minis are up 2.7%. So we're having another big day here. Why? I'm not really sure.
Hey, Kev. Hey, Kev, yeah, I just got some breaking remarks. U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent sees de-escalation with China and situation is unsustainable. That's what made us kind of pivot to where we're reaching session highs. So that's a positive headline, right, Kev?
Exactly. And you knew it was something because, like I said, E-minis just jumped from right around 2% to 2.7%. So I knew it was something. It was just a matter of what the news report was. So that happens to traders a lot, right? You're like, okay, something just happened. What just happened? And so we're looking for better headlines, more constructive, de-escalating, great word headlines out of the Trump White House. And you know what? Scott Bessent is becoming the new Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell
everything is going up.
So
put in comments, what do you trade?
And the markets like it. Last week he certainly didn't
What
do
stocks?
that. Scott Bessent, though, really seems to be the one now filling that role from the Trump administration. When he talks, he says things the markets usually like. Hey, Scott, do that a little more, please. Thank you.
More from Bessent, less from everyone else at this point. I'm with you.
Exactly.
I'm with you on that. No, you know what, Kevin? He can say all he wants, but this is that tit for tat where, hey, China's not backing down, we're not backing down. Those comments are probably worthy rhetoric at this point, but that doesn't mean anything's going to happen down the line because Trump could come out and say something to the opposite at any point. But to your, to the market's relief here a little bit, some positivity on the trade front would be probably the best medicine for us right now.
Exactly right. We're looking for headlines that, remember, it was Kevin Hassett last week that said, do we release them one at a time or do we release them in a bunch? I think I speak for the whole trading environment that just start releasing them. If you've got them, announce them so the markets can see a trend. The trend lately has been extremely negative. Today we've got some positive headlines, or Tom, even the lack of negative headlines is good for the overall market. But Tom, I want to mention something. Yesterday, checking the news wires of two leading financial news organizations. Not going to mention who it was. Here's the two headlines.
Take a look.
U.S. dollar as reserve currency in question. Really? Really? The U.S. dollar is in question? Really? No, it's not. And the other one, Trump trade is now sell America. That is the kind of rhetoric that as an investor, you have to sift your way through and make good, clear decisions. Because the media headlines are all like that. They're all negative and all almost sowing, panic in the market.
I shorted Tesla before.
And as an investor, you've really got to sift your way through that.
Comments? Take a look. My short was here,
that it's very important to do that.
And I closed position
here, Kevin,
208.
There was some negative news earlier. Even though we were rallying, S&P 500 was up nearly 2% when
How did you make money?
Comes out with revisions
Subscribe,
and their lowering GDP forecast for global growth, and then in the U.S. also went down to 1.4% this year, 1.5%. They said they didn't see a recession. But that wasn't actually positive news. I mean, you probably knew it was coming, but that seemed to not affect the markets at all.
Yeah, here's why. I think everyone else is thinking worse. right? I think the fact that they said that and it wasn't as bad as expected may be why the market's caught a bit.
Let's see,
You're
Meta.
right, they downgraded just about the entire world.
Meta is up.
It wasn't as bad.
Take a look, support level.
Remember, the markets are basically
Do you
pricing
agree?
in the worst case scenario, including a recession.
Put in chat.
So when you get something like that that says, yeah, we're lowering things, but not a
Take a
recession,
look here.
in a weird,
Subscribe, give like to this video.
bizarre
A lot of
way,
face videos
that's actually
on
positive
YouTube
for the
channel.
markets.
See it.
It
Because right
is.
now we discuss in
It's the
stock
summer
market.
of George. You just say the opposite of everything that you normally do,
Yes.
and things happen in those type of situations.
Take a look.
Kevin, when you look at some of the commentary,
Dollar Tree.
Goldman CEO Solomon came out. He said tariff delay, increasing uncertainty.
Let's see.
Citigroup says negative impact of tariffs to be
CVS.
felt mainly in the second half of the year. And I heard that out of Pulte's CEO also, where
Take a look,
hey,
CVS made
we're talking
65%.
tariffs right now. Earnings have been pretty good so
Seems
far,
low.
but the uncertainty moving forward due to what's going on just this month has yet to feel the impact in markets at this point, right?
I think
So
David
subscribe,
Solomon
give like,
watches the Schwab Network because he said
and
what
see
we've
you
been
next
saying for a
video.
couple of weeks.
Yeah.
He wants
Next
to
slide.
see some deals announced. That he said that would really help the market.